Hey everyone, what's up? This is a review I have promised during my Galaxy Buds Pro unboxing video. I know it has been a while, but it really took me that long to get used to this product, especially considering at some point I was even thinking about returning it. But nevertheless, it's here, and thank you for your patience. This is a comparison review. We will mainly focus on comparing Buds Pro with the Buds Plus and try to answer the question whether or not Buds Pro is a worthy upgrade of Buds Plus. Now you might ask, why am I not including Buds Live? Well, the short answer is I don't have it, and the longer answer is that Buds Live is actually a different product line. Buds Live adopts this semi-open design which intended to allow you to hear the surrounding even when you are wearing it, while Buds Pro and Buds Plus are focusing on isolating yourself from the environment. They try to block the environment sound. For me, I only care about the latter. I really want to be able to isolate myself from the environment and focus on my job, whatever I'm working on. In those rare cases I really need to monitor the surrounding, I will just turn on the pass-through. So that's why I don't have Buds Live, and this review doesn't contain Buds Live. Now with that, let's dive into the meaty part. The design of the two generations are not so different. The main differences being first the cases. The older generation used this elongated shape with a smooth glossy surface, while the newer generation is square shaped and the surface is matte. The newer generation also visually looks smaller. Now, for the buds themselves, the newer generation looks a little more modern, a little more bold. Like you can see this whole piece that's showing outside when you are wearing it is one single piece, while the older generation is a little traditional. You can see the touch area and it's clearly separated from the rest of the earbud. Which one is better is really up to personal preference. I don't think there's a winner or loser here. They are both designed very well. Looking at the earbuds themselves, the older generation Buds Pro have this rubber replaceable ear wing, which is supposed to help keeping this in your ear, while the newer generation doesn't have it. But instead, it comes with this solid piece here, which sort of plays the same role. I think this is to accommodate those two extra microphones. As a result, this newer generation actually feels significantly more secure in your ear, which is great. But this extra security does come with a big drawback, which is the comfortness. In the first couple of days when I was wearing this, I can't actually let it sit in my ear for more than 10-15 minutes because it's getting so uncomfortable. And what's worse is when I was taking it out, my ear actually feels painful. So at that point, I actually thought about I should just return it. It's so uncomfortable. But I really liked many other aspects of the Buds Pro, so I decided to let me try it several more days and see if I can tough through this uncomfortness. And the result is it actually worked. After about 2 weeks, I no longer feel the pain when I take the earbud out from my ear, and also I can wear it for a couple of hours without any problem, although you will still feel some pressure on your ear. I would say definitely not as comfortable as Buds Plus, but it's tolerable. Another design aspect I really want to talk about is waterproof. Buds Pro comes with a rating of IPX7, which means it can be submerged in a shallow water without problem for 30 minutes. While the older generation Buds Plus it only have IPX2, which means it's probably only good for your sweat or like running in a very light rain. This function is really important to me because I love to listen to audiobooks or podcasts during my shower, and I don't want to use those loudspeakers with high volume. So the IPX7 rating of Buds Pro really enabled me to do that. Now let's talk about the performance. The older generation Buds Plus sounds okay. It's sort of flat, and I find myself have to basically keep the bass boost always on to make it sound decent. Its volume is also quite low. There were cases that I was in very loud environment and tried to make calls. I cannot hear very well because the maximum volume is still quite low. In contrast, Buds Pro can provide a much higher volume, which is helpful when you are in noisy environments. What's better is that Buds Pro can provide not only just louder sound, but also fuller, more present sound. The sound quality is head and shoulders above Buds Plus, even without the bass boost. This is one thing I really appreciate about Buds Plus. Next, let's talk about the microphone. For this part, I will just test them out and record the result so that you can be the judge yourself. For each earbud, I will test in quiet environment as well as a noisy environment, which is basically in the wind and the noise of this fan. Okay, let's listen. This is the quiet environment. Test 1, 2, 3. This is the quiet environment. Test 1, 2, 3. This is the windy environment. Test 1, 2, 3. This is the windy environment. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, so which one do you like better? Let me first reveal which one is which. The earbud number 1 is Buds Pro, and the earbud number 2 is Buds Plus. Now, to me, I really don't think there are much difference between their microphone performance. They were doing equally well to me. Maybe the earbud Pro is slightly more solid in the quiet environment, but overall they performed equally well, and I would say it's a tie in this category. Okay, the last part about the performance is noise cancellation and the noise isolation. Frankly, in this department, I don't think there are much comparison because Buds Pro would be a clear winner by far. It has a much better noise isolation due to its bigger size and probably the shape design. But at the same time, on top of that, it also has ANC. And the ANC is actually working very well. It's very effective. So this makes Buds Pro a really good tool to isolate yourself from the environment. This kind of capability to isolate myself from the environment is really important because due to the COVID, I have to work at home all the time, and with kids running around making all kinds of noise, this really helped me to focus on my work. Lastly, let's talk a little bit about battery life. Buds Plus is famous for its battery life. I can usually use it 6 to 7 hours straight without charging. Buds Pro, on the other hand, is not working as well. It can only give me around 4 hours, maybe a little less than 4 hours of usage. Admit that I always have ANC on, so it's not ideal if you want to use it the full day. The good thing about it is that it charges pretty fast. I've tried to charge it from 0% battery, and in 15 minutes I get 50% battery. So that's pretty fast. That means if you have a full day meeting, but then in between meetings you probably have like 10-15 minutes to charge your battery, then it will be fine. Okay, that's all the comparison I want to talk about. Now back to our original question. Is Buds Pro a worthy upgrade from Buds Plus? Aside from the cost, I think you just need to answer one question. Are you willing to tough through the initial uncomfortableness of wearing Buds Pro? The first several days will not be a good experience, but if you wear it long enough, after a couple of weeks, you will get used to it. Other than the comfortness, pretty much in every other department, Buds Pro is a step up, is a clear winner from Buds Plus. It has a better sound isolation, better ANC, actually only it has ANC, and it has much better sound quality. It has waterproof, so all of those adds up to be a great product. I would say as long as you can tough through the initial uncomfortableness, go for it. Now, last thing, don't forget to click that like button. It will help others to find this video. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.